m0NESY is a true master of bugs.
You can see people through this wall, you can see people on B, and you can see everything towards B side.
CS2 wasn't even released yet, but he already found tons of tricks in it, and amazed not only his teammates, but the whole community.
It's good, no? What the fuck? It's good now. Что good? Что now? Not good, huh? It's insane. It's good, bro.
I learned a lot from this guy. He constantly shows me something that I didn't even know existed in the game, says Niko Kovac, the main star of G2. Most of m0NESY's tricks are spectacular, but harmless. For instance, check out this wallbang he found.
Clip that shit and post that shit on Reddit. Просто! Вы знали новый прострел от m0NESY?
It was obvious that no one would use this trick in an actual official game, but seeing Ilya kill a guy in the plant from the CT spawn was still thrilling. But there was one time where m0NESY's passion for bugs did get him into a big scandal. He exploited smoke grenades on the Major and ticked off some players so hard that they refused to talk to him after that. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, because you're watching CYBERSHOKE, and today we'll tell you how m0NESY used a bug on the Major and made Valve rush to release a patch. Hey guys, how about improving your skills with the new year? Just imagine how much you can achieve this year if you start training seriously today. We're of course more than happy to help you with that. On CYBERSHOKE, you can find almost 20 different game modes with low ping from Europe and CIS. You can improve your aim, refine your game sense, and even practice movement on KZ, Surf, and B-Hop. But to have the fullest CYBERSHOKE experience, check out our premium subscription. It's got a lot of cool features, like access to missions and other unique events. We'll put a link in the description. So, before diving in, let's just do a little quick recap. m0NESY joined G2 in January 2022, and even though the new lineup was promising, they had a bit of a rocky start. On the one hand, they reached the grand final in Katowice, and it was an outstanding result for a team that just replaced a player, but on the other, the guys then went to the ESL Pro League and took second to last place there. In May, Ilya went on his first major. He easily passed the Challenger stage, but faced NAVI in the Legend stage. These guys were one of the favorites to win the whole tournament, so the game was really tough. At one point, NAVI were leading 15-14, and G2 desperately needed a win around so as not to lose. So let's check that last round in more detail here. Perfecto threw a default window smoke so that b0NESY could quickly run to the top mid. Kuriel took this position and started cautiously peeking out for information. m0NESY in turn went to the window and threw a very interesting smoke. Not the first time in this game, by the way. And here's what happened after.
A Hail Mary buy from G2 where they saved an op and started out with the kills.
Ooh, one way from m0NESY. Loses his vision. G2 looking to force OT off the back of a 5v4.
As you can notice, the caster didn't really react to this. He just said, "Oh, one way from m0NESY," and continued to watch the game. Well, Ilya knew that b0NESY was hiding behind the boxes on top mid with low HP, so he asked Niko to throw a grenade there. Easy frag. So in a way, G2 started that round in a 5v4 situation and went to the overtimes thanks to that frag. The community didn't say anything about what m0NESY did there. Honestly, not many people even noticed that he did something kind of strange and unfair. People were just saying that Ilya did a great job by finding that one-way smoke, and that was it. But then in the next game, G2 faced Imperial. The core of that roster had 2 major titles and support from Brazilian fans behind their backs. The map veto ended with Mirage, and m0NESY, like in the NAVI game, used his signature smoke many times. But this time, things were a bit different, and 2 more factors had come into play. First, in one of the rounds, m0NESY scored a double kill thanks to his smoke. And second, the Brazilian community's huge, and there were way more people who could notice that something was off, compared to the game against NAVI. But you might be thinking, so what's the problem? A talented player found a new one-way smoke and used it. What's wrong with that? Well, this smoke only works when it aligns with a T-window smoke, creating a bug on the edge that allows m0NESY to see his opponent. opponents. One of the Brazilian players demonstrated this bug on Twitter, and the video went viral. The original post, thanks to a retweet from Don Hatchie, got more than 30,000 likes. m0NESY responded about this by saying, "We asked the admins on RMR Quals if we could use this smoke, and they allowed us to use it." The CS community was thus divided into two groups. Some were shocked that the TOs had allowed the abuse of such an obvious bug, while others were sure that m0NESY, while asking the admins, failed to mention that it was actually a bug. Ilya also brought up that many players use bugs in official games, and no one punishes them for it. For instance, Ancient had a mid-Molotov that could be thrown from T-spawn. It doesn't break in the air like it's supposed to and is indeed a bug, but no one was telling players to stop using that one. Soon enough, PGL released a quick statement. "We are using the latest client version of CSGO, and we will allow the smoke going forward." All the players were furious with that decision. Experienced people like Taz knew what bugs can do to a big CS event, and he said, "Makes no sense. This can potentially harm the tournament. Imagine pro teams searching for smoke bugs. From time to time, there will be a team or a player who won't think twice. The tournament's responsibility is to bring them back in line." We all know how often CSGO is updated. Some people dug up old recordings of this same bug being used. For instance, blogger Rakuda showcased this bug on Dust 2 all the way back in 2021.
Понял. У меня 1 хп осталось.
And you could also do it on Overpass. Pro players were getting really mad about this. The internet was quickly flooded with tutorials on how to do the bug, and with permission from the TO, the whole tournament could be thrown into disarray. Some people recalled the Krakow Major where Big also used a bug with permission from PGL. Back then, all the players had an urgent meeting and reached a gentleman's agreement not to use it. Kerrigan suggested that they try to do the same thing as last time, but there was one little problem with that. There was only 2 hours left before the next game day started. So CSPPA member Stiko did his best to gain control of the situation and pulled all the connections he could to gather signatures from all 16 teams in just 2 hours. And it's thanks to him that no one ever used that bug again. But still, in the aftermath, the whole thing was controversial, and opinions about m0NESY differed greatly. For instance, Smooya stood up for him, saying that m0NESY was still young and he really didn't understand the implications of what he was doing. But Navi players still held a big grudge against him. Here's what Boomich said. "I don't talk to him anymore. He did it while we were leading 15-14, damaged me on 75 HP, and I just got killed with a grenade. The most important thing for me is that m0NESY realized that what he did was wrong, but we disagree about it." As a result of all of this, m0NESY managed to get on the bad side of two of the biggest CSGO fanbases, Navi and Brazil's. But slowly over time, things did get better. In just a day, Valve released a hot fix for this bug, and no one could use it anymore. Also, m0NESY apologized. You need to think before doing that. "Yeah, we showed this smoke to the PGL admins, and we made it clear that we needed a T-window smoke for this one way to occur, and they gave us permission." But again, you need to think carefully before doing something like that, especially on the major. There was one person with a different opinion, Nico. Kovac said that m0NESY didn't do anything wrong, and there was no need for an apology. But what do you think? Did m0NESY have the right to use that smoke, knowing it was a bug? Let's chat about it in the comments. And of course, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe because you are watching CYBERSHOKE. Bye for now.